The principle of consistency. The principle of consistency. The Prophet ﷺ says in famous hadith, أَحَبُّ الْأَعْمَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ أَدْوَمُهَا وَإِنْ قَلَّ. The most beloved deeds to Allah are consistent even if they are small. One day, Alqama radiallahu anhu, he asks Aisha radiallahu anha, the Prophet's wife, he says, Ya al-Mu'mineen, O mother of the believers, كيف كان عمل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم? What was the Prophet's deeds like? His actions, what did they look like? Did he have some days for some special things, some other days for other special things? She said, no. She says this famous word, كان عمله ديمة. His actions were consistent. He would do something, he'd do it every day of his life. And this is where the concept of the wird comes in. You might have heard this word, the wird. Wird in Arabic refers to a portion of the Quran or a portion of dhikr that you never leave every day. What does consistency mean? There's a really good, we'll come to that in a moment. How do you build a habit? What does consistency mean? It means this action, this habit is so important in my life. If I miss it, I will compensate for it. I will make it up later. So if the Prophet ﷺ would miss his sunnah, his 12 sunnah, the 12 sunnahs he would pray every day, or 14 depending on which narration you take, he would make them up later. If he missed the night prayer, he would make it up in the daytime. Because these are his habits. These are the pillars of his day. They never change. They never move. They never sway. This is consistency. When you do something consistently, you start to realize on a daily basis, you won't see the effect. But there's a compound effect. You see, every mountain starts with a pebble. One pebble, another, before you realize it's a mountain. The Prophet ﷺ, this is how his worship would be, small but consistent. So when we want to copy, embody, emulate the Prophet ﷺ, we have to start with something small that we can do. We have to be realistic. The Prophet ﷺ says, when he's giving advice about this, he says, إِكْلِفُوا مِنَ الْأَعْمَالِ مَا تُطِيقُونَ. Take on board deeds that you are actually realistically able to do. فَلَنْ يَمَلَّ اللَّهَ حَتَّى تَمَلُّوا. Allah doesn't get bored, but you might get bored. Don't overdo it. So start with once a week. You can do once a week, make it twice. You can do twice, make it 3 times, 4 times. Hold yourself to account. But how do we build consistent habits? This is a deeper question and it applies to all aspects of life. How do you build a consistent habit? There's a book I can recommend to all of you. There's 2 books. One is a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm not saying Shaykh al-Islam James Clear. You say, Ustadh Hisham takes from the kuffar. Yes, I take from the kuffar. The Prophet ﷺ said, Al-hikmatu dalatul mu'min. Wisdom is the lost property of the believer. Anna wajadaha fahuwa ahaqqu biha. Wherever he finds it, he is more deserving of it. If I find wisdom, useful, beneficial knowledge from a non-Muslim, I will take it. And so sometimes we have to accept and benefit from other sources. James Clear, he writes a brilliant book very recently called Atomic Habits. So all on this idea, how do I develop a habit? How do I make something from a deed once in a while? We've all tried it. Ramadan, everybody has the habit of Quran. After Ramadan, it's gone. It evaporates. The most effective way to build a habit is to create a sense of accountability. I'll give you a simple example. Everyone says, I want to memorize the Quran. I say, great. Pay a teacher, not a friend, pay somebody an amount every week. And let it be someone who you are scared of. You don't want to disappoint them. You respect. And make a fixed weekly time when you have to meet them. And give strict rules to yourself. Say, look, teacher, if I come 10 minutes late, cancel the lesson and make me still pay for it. If I miss 4 lessons in a row, never talk to me again. Tell me to get lost, finish. Creating this accountability, consequences, punishment if you miss it, weekly time, creating this whole system, this will force you to turn up every week. Even if you are the laziest person in the world, you will turn up because you're scared of the consequences. This is an example. What about the night prayer? How can I create a system for the night prayer? One of the ways to do this is the power of jama'ah. Alone, there's very little you can accomplish. But when we do things in groups, we're able to accomplish much more. You create a WhatsApp group. It's called the Qiyamul Layl crew, the A team, the Muzammil team, whatever you want. Be creative. What's the deal of this group? All of us are going to choose one night in the week to pray Qiyamul Layl, the night prayer. And if we all succeed in doing so, there's a reward, a group reward. We will each pay £20 into this pot every month, and we will get a reward for all of us. Or we'll go out for a meal, or we'll have some celebration or something. But we have one goal only. We want to be the people. When everybody's asleep, we are standing. When everybody's laughing, we are crying. That we have this depth of connection to Allah. We are the people of the night prayer. You create this group. You create this accountability. Everybody's asking the other. You make pairs. You say, look, Ahmed, at 3 a.m., you have to ring me. And if I don't wake up, there is a consequence. I have to give £100 in charity the next day. If I don't wake up, there's some consequence on me. Ahmed rings you, you will be awake like there's no business. This is the reason why, if I give you a real life example, this is the reason why many people, they will not wake up for Fajr. 1 hour later, they'll be up at 8 a.m. for work. Why? What's the difference? Allah and your boss. Why we would wake up for our boss, but we're not waking up for Allah? Because there's accountability. We don't wake up at 8 for our boss, we lose the paycheck. We lose our career, we lose our job, we're seen as unprofessional. Maybe they'll strike us off, maybe they'll give us a slap on the wrist. So scared of the consequence, everybody's up at 8 a.m. Look at the rush hour traffic at 8 a.m. Look at the rush hour traffic at Fajr time. There's no rush hour because there's no accountability in this world. Create some if you do not have the fear of Allah, the love of Allah, that engine to move you to pray at night, create a system that will force you. A friend, a partner, a teacher, a group, something that will force you to worship Allah. Whether it's reading a page a day of the Quran, whether it's praying the night prayer, creating a system where somebody else is going to hold you to account, this is what will help you succeed. And if it's learning Arabic or recitation of the Quran, or a daily dua, or adhkar, it always helps to do it in a group. It always helps to have a teacher, somebody you fear, somebody you respect. There are parts of the world in which this system has worked wonders. For example, Morocco. In Morocco, many of the masajid, every day at Fajr and Maghrib, they read one hizb of the Quran together. That's half a juz. So every day, all you need to do is turn up. You turn up, you sit down, 20 minutes you leave, you've read 10 pages of the Quran. Start at the end of your day. Of course, there's discussions between ulama, between scholars, a valid difference of opinion whether we can recite the Quran in unison or not, etc., etc. But that's beside the point. Point is, when there's a group doing something, it becomes a culture, it becomes a habit. We'll give you another example from the Horn of Africa, from Bilad al-Somal. Many people wonder, what is the secret? What is the secret behind the Somali households producing huffaz like the Asian households produce sweets and gulab jamun? What's the secret? The Somali brothers say, someone's going to tell me, there is something, a system, a daily system that keeps them revising the Quran in groups. What's it called? Subh. You heard it right. What is this system? What do you guys do? Tell us the secret. We are masakeen, we need something like this. Tell us, what's the secret? You sit in a circle. Everyone recites one ayah. Okay, perfect. So everybody recites one ayah every day. And this culture exists in many, many households from a young age. Imagine you're a 3-year-old and you wake up every morning and all of your older siblings are sitting around your parents reciting one ayah each, until the whole family recited 10 pages of the Quran. Imagine this was your lifestyle, this was your culture. Your family will grow up loving the Quran, having that system of accountability with the Quran. When everybody sat in a circle, it's easy to join in. But if you need to, on your own, with all your distractions, do it by yourself, you'll probably forget. So it's really important. So these systems are there embedded in many cultures, many Muslim countries. And we need to revive these and embed them in our lives. circle of dhikr, a circle of qiyamul layl, a WhatsApp group for revision of the Quran. A daily time we come together, we sit and we complete this thing that we want to make a daily habit. James Clear wrote his book like 2 years ago, but the Moroccans and the Somalis were doing atomic habits from 700 years. Let's not mince our words. These guys are late to the party. We've been developing habits since before their grandparents were born. So it's important to revive this system, how to develop a habit. كان عمل رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ديمة. The Prophet's deeds were consistent. And the way this consistency was preserved was through halaqat, through teachers, through systems that would force you to do it even on a day you don't feel like it, because everybody else is there. And so you need to turn up as well.